saying hi.
It's moving. He's taking your picture.
Please state your full name.
Yeah.
I'm going out now. I got to make something.
Okay.
Bye.
Where's the other one?
Look at how the other eye to see him.
Yeah. Hey, Pops.
What?
How are ya?
I'm all right. Blind in one eye, can't see out of the other.
I've heard that.
You what?
I heard that.
I'm going to walk across here.
Oh my
What?
God. It'll be obstructed view.
Oh, gee, oh my God, what the hell are you doing?
Well, I wanted to
Oh, for Christ's sake. Take a picture of that.
No.
You want to obstruct the view. God. You want me to smile?
Yeah, would ya? Let's see, I'll zoom in.
Huh?
Smile.
I'm already smiling. That's what I want me to do. Crack like
That's a smile? Okay.
All right.
When were you born?
I was born in North Attleboro, Mass. In 1915.
What
in
date?
North Attleboro.
What date?
April 4th.
And where were you in your family?
What?
What number were you in your family?
What do you mean? What number?
How many kids were born before you?
Oh, how the hell do I know? I don't know.
Who's the oldest in your family? You
Zeke.
know. So
Zeke was
Zeke.
the oldest.
Then who came?
Then it was Bert. Then it was Eva. Then it was Anita. Then it was Armin, Albert. Anybody else in between that? Stella, and me, and Rena, and Pete.
How many is that? 10?
Yeah. And your grandmother had lost 4 besides that.
What was her name?
Huh?
What was your mother's name?
Eleanor.
Eleanor
Eleanor Lebeau.
LaMountain?
LaMountain. Maiden name is LaMountain.
And she was from where?
She was from Jamestown, North Dakota.
And where did she meet your father?
I don't know. I forgot where she met my father.
Your father was from East
I think
Hampton?
it was over Northampton. He met her.
And your father was from East Hampton? He was born in this
No,
area?
my father came from Canada.
Oh, he did? Where in Canada?
He wasn't even a civilian. I mean,
American?
and it wasn't even an American.
Do you know where in Canada he came from?
No. Somewhere out in the woods somewhere.
In the woods somewhere. That would cover it.
I don't know.
And what was his name?
Seaford. They used to call him Frank.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, everybody used to call him Frank.
What did he do? Besides make babies.
He was he worked in a gold where they made jewelry, in a factory where they made jewelry.
In East Hampton?
That's what he lost. No,
In Canada?
up in North Attleboro.
Oh.
That's where he lost his eye. A piece of gold got in his eye.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's
I
still
didn't
there.
know that.
They never got it out.
It's still there?
Well, apparently not now. Must be in his coffin now.
Hey. Huh. And your grandparents, did you ever know any of them?
Sure, I used to know. I knew my grandparents. I knew Pepe LaMountain. I knew my aunts, Blanche and Alice, and my mother Louise. That was Jeanette LaMountain's father, who was my Uncle Pete, Uncle Peter. Yeah, that was your grandmother's brother.
Was he Peter LaMountain?
Yeah.
Oh.
That was Mame's brother.
Huh. So then, what do you remember about your childhood? You grew up in East Hampton?
Yep. Yes. I was 2 years old when I came to East Hampton
From where?
from North Attleboro,
Oh yeah.
where I was born.
And then you went to school. Did you go
I
to
went
Maple
to school
Street
here
School?
whenever I could go. Whenever they used to catch me to go to school, if I didn't skip, I didn't go to school very much.
You didn't like it?
No, I never liked school.
No. Must have been where I got it from.
Uh,
And then what did you do for work? What were your first jobs?
my first job, I worked in at the AMP on Cottage Street, bagging potatoes, putting up potatoes after school. That was my first job. And then I worked. Where did I work at? Where did I work in the mill? I didn't work in the mill. Oh, then I got another job down New City. We moved down on Parsons Street, place.
Pleasant Green?
Princeton Avenue.
Oh.
We lived on Princeton, moved on Princeton Avenue. I worked in the store. There, and then another AMP they had there. It was the same, the father and son. They used to run. Used to run the father and son.
Mhm.
The father used to run one on Cottage Street, and the son and on New City. And I worked steady down in New City.
Mhm.
I was work after school and on weekends, and after that I worked steady. And then, where did I go? I worked on a hat mill after that. I got a job down a hat mill after we moved down. My folks moved down on Pleasant Street.
Now, how old were you then?
I don't remember. I had to be 18, I think.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, well, no, 60. I was 60 when I got the job at the hat mill.
Mhm.
I worked there for a few years. And after that, where did I go? I went to work at the Springfield Armory. And then when the war started, then I went to service.
When did you meet Mom?
And when did I meet her?
Yeah.
1935, I think.
Where?
In a dance hall.
In Northampton?
Yeah, at the White Eagle.
The White Eagle. Where's that? The White Eagle.
The Bay State. It was next to the Bay State Hotel,
Oh, yeah.
right next door.
Do you remember when you met her?
Huh?
Do you remember meeting her?
What?
Where did you meet who?
I met you there, didn't I?
No, sir, I met you over married addresses. I was introduced to you.
Oh, okay. Oh, Mary Anderson's.
So who'd you meet at the White Eagle Hall?
Well, that's where we used to go dancing.
Oh.
I used to go dancing there a couple of times a week. And then we used to see the whole. She used to hang around with Bruno's wife. And Bruno's
You can look
sister.
at me, Dad.
Huh?
You can look at me.
I don't want to. Why should I look at you?
Because I like to
Well,
talk
anyway,
to you
that's
and look
where,
at you.
That's what Bruno and his not Bruno, Jean
Uh-huh.
and her sister, plus your mother and the Andrews sisters and the La Rochelle's.
The
They
Andrews
all hung
sisters?
around together. They all went dancing at the White Eagle.
The Andrews sisters?
Huh?
The Andrews sisters?
The Andrews, yeah, the Andrews sisters. Kay Andrews and I don't know her sister's name. I forgot. Well, anyway, they were the ones that we used to go. Then I didn't go dancing there. I used to go to dance in the Mountain Park.
Hmm.
The Mountain Park, we used to go to Butterfly Ballroom over in Holyoke.
What kind of music did you dance to? Big band?
Big bands, yeah. Big band, regular bands, regular good bands. You know, you don't see them just on records today.
Mm-hmm.
Used to go dancing 7 nights a week.
And drinking?
No drinking.
No beer?
No, well, once in a while we'd have a couple of beers, wherever we were dancing.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we were we'd gonna go to Connecticut dancing at the lake compound. We used to have a couple of those It's a summer. It was a summer resort.
I've been there
Lake
to a
Compound.
concert. Yeah.
Well, I used to have the big bands there, boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy, what bands is there? Saw everything there. I worked in Bristol.
Oh.
I was working in Bristol at the time, and I used to go. That's where we used to go on the weekends.
Is that before you were married?
Yeah, sure. Only got to take that one with you.
Oh.
I didn't even know
Who'd you
her.
take?
I didn't know her then.
Oh. So when you first met Mom, you started dating her?
I don't remember.
I better ask her, huh?
Yeah.
You don't want to say the wrong thing.
No, I'll get in trouble. Oh, I didn't date her. I didn't take her home from the dance because Uncle Charlie, especially the White Eagle, Uncle Charlie used to made her come home at 10 o'clock. She had to quit doing intermission. She had to come home. Uncle Charlie had to make her come home at 10 o'clock from the dance. She used to get pissed off.
So you'd walk her home?
Yeah, I'd walk her home. And we'd sit on the back porch, on a step there, and she was fat. And once you'd see Uncle Charlie coming up the sidewalk, and he'd say, "Where you going down there? What's the matter here, loco? No place to be." Your mother used to get mad. You want to see your wife, Lisa? You'll come up the stairs. So after that...
And then you left? Then you left? Or did you go upstairs?
Yeah, he went upstairs. He used to go upstairs. I didn't go upstairs.
No.
I was shitting my pants. I was going to get the hell out of there and come home. And I had to come home. I had to bum rides because I didn't have no tire. I had to bum a ride home.
To East Hampton.
Yeah. God.
And when you went out, were all your brothers and sisters out too?
And I was out where?
When you were out like in Northampton dancing, were all your family, like, did you run into your brothers and sisters
I
out?
didn't run into them.
No?
No. They were all married. Oh, yeah. Them were the good old days.
I know.
I can't grab it.
You have to grab it quick.
I thought they could stay stiff.
It's supposed to, but it doesn't. Especially for the small one.
All right, I'll press down on this.
This is pressed over here too. You gotta press all over.
Yeah.
It's gonna go along that way.
Yeah. That, but this is correct.
I was gonna say that. Let it come up to par. Oh yeah, preheat over for 10 minutes. We'll be eating that after we eat our supper.
Usually.
Get out of my way. Let it break. Watch my fall.
Okay. I'll break your fall if you fall. Sylvester, is that good food for you?
Oh. And don't swing and sway. Like,
Try not to.
okay.
As I swing and
I'm
sway.
ready. I'm ready.
Oh, you are?
What do you want me to say?
Tell me
Mm-hmm.
about when you were little. What do you remember
I
about
don't
when you were
remember
little?
much when I was little because I lived with so many relatives, and they never talked about my youth. I lived with almost all my aunts. My mother got sick when I was 6 years old.
What happened to her?
She went to Italy and never came back.
Your mother never came back from Italy?
Yeah, she came back. They shipped her back because she was an American citizen about 20 years ago. And she was put to rest in Washington, D.C. And when What else do you want to know?
How old were you when she went to Italy?
6.
And she was having an operation or something, is that right?
No, she had an operation and the ether went to her head. So that's why Bruno's mother, I was just thinking about that the other night. That's why Bruno's mother died. She refused to have an operation. She had the same thing, I think it was gallbladder.
Uh-huh.
And it broke inside of her or something. She poisoned her because she was afraid what happened to my mother would happen to her, so she refused to go for an operation and she died.
Mm.
So Bruno was young when she died.
So he was like your brother then?
Yeah,
growing
we
up.
fought like brother and sister.
And still do.
We don't even talk now. Wasn't Virginia would be.
Yeah. So tell me about what you remember about your mom. Do you remember anything about her?
No. I don't remember anything because I was very little.
Mm-hmm.
And then she worked when I was
What was her name?
Angelina
Angelina. What was her maiden name?
Molino.
Mm-hmm.
There is a town in Italy where she came from. It's named after their family because they had money. And they owned a lot of the land there. And this little town up in the mountains, which was near Biella in Piedmont. Piemonte.
Mm-hmm. What was your father's name?
Ariodante Lotti.
And where was he from?
Toscana.
What town?
Can't think. I was up in another mountain,
Mm-hmm.
but they were near Lucca.
Okay.
Down at the bottom of the mountain, one of those mountains was the city.
Lombardo?
City of Lucca.
Is it Lombardo or something like that?
Can't think. It was just a little town. Had a little church, one store, and that was it. And a cemetery.
Mm-hmm. Didn't they have a winery there too?
No way. No wineries there.
I thought you gave me a picture of a winery and said that that's where my grandfather was from.
No. Well, there is wine from Toscana, from Tuscany, and there's wine from Piedmont, because all over Italy, when you're traveling there, you can see the grapevines.
Right. So what do you remember about your dad when you were little?
What remember
What
about
do-
my
yeah.
father? That I could do anything I wanted.
How come?
I don't know. Easy come, easy go. And he was never around that much.
So that's why you were with relatives? Because he was always
Well,
off doing whatever?
he never wanted to set up housekeeping for just the two of us. So I lived with different relatives.
And did he have girlfriends or something? Or?
Only had one who he was with. He didn't live with her. She was an Italian lady whose husband died. And she lived on the same street as my father did too, as we did. And
In Northampton?
yeah, on Eastern Avenue.
What was her name?
Rosina Gilardino. She was married to I got the wrong one of the other ones.
Whoops.
With her sister-in-law. Her marriage name was Bassani. And she had a daughter, and that was it.
Uh-huh.
Well, her daughter was much older than I.
Uh-huh.
And I used to go over there a lot. I used to eat most of his meals there. And
Did he take you?
no. I was over my uncle Bruno's father's.
Mhm.
I was really there. And then then my aunt in New Jersey wanted me to live with her. She wanted to adopt me.
Not Leo?
Yeah, I said, no way. I didn't want to live there. So I refused to be adopted. She brought me to the school, Catholic school. No way.
How old were you?
I don't know, I must have been about 7 or 8.
You must have been a pretty opinionated little girl.
Kind of spoiled, I guess. But I wasn't. I was spoiled when I was with my Uncle Charlie and with his wife. But because when my mother got sick and I took her over, I was with, I went over too, typically, but then I lived with Bruno and his family, and his mother and father. And my father, I don't know whether he was there or not. did. He used to have a room up in the attic.
Huh.
Father's house. Well, it was my father's house to begin with. We sold it to Bruno's father because we needed the money to bring my mother to Italy. Doctor thought we could change going back to where she came from would help her, which it didn't. So then I went, then I went down to, the best years of my life was down with my aunt Linda in Springfield. I went down there when I went into second grade, I think, when I went down there. And I stayed there until I was 12.
Why was it so good there?
Because I loved my aunt. And
Now, whose mother was that?
Bill Kahn's mother.
Bill Kahn's, okay.
But I didn't like her daughter, the older daughter. She had a nervous breakdown, on the verge of a nervous breakdown. I couldn't understand those things then. She was always yelling at me, and actually she was why I had to get out of there, because she didn't want me there anymore. My father went to Boston to go in business with one of my aunt's husbands. They came back from Italy, and he had been.
Who was that?
My uncle Pasquale Marconi, and my aunt Malvina, and they opened a fruit store, which he had in Holyoke for years and made a lot of money on. Thought he would do it again. He went into Somerville, right outside of Boston, and my father went down with his partner, and I had to go. I wanted to stay with my aunt, but her daughter said no, she's got to go with her father. She wanted to get rid of me. So I stayed there a year, and my father's, my uncle, he was a Southern Italian. He slung knives and everything. And couldn't get along with my father. Couldn't get along with anybody, but unless he had his way. So my father left. And he came back for me the week after. I came back to Northampton. I went to live with Dora's mother and father.
What were their names?
Annalie and Leandro, called him Leandro.
Lottie?
No, Ronnie. So I was there, I was in high school when I was there. And thank God I lived there only a year. Hated it. I didn't like her. Shouldn't say that. She always compared me to these people she worked for on Pomeroy Terrace. She cleaned and she took care of their 2 children, who turned out to be not so great.
This was in Northampton?
Northampton.
Dora lived in Northampton?
Oh yeah, that's where she comes from. Oh, down in the same neighborhood where I live. And,
Down by the dike. Eastern Ave.
Yeah, and they lived on Lola Burnaby, on the corner of Hancock and Holly Street. And what was I saying?
You were saying that you didn't like living with Dora's family.
No, they were living off of Pleasant Street at the time. I hate that neighborhood too. But like I said, she always compared me to Melinda. Melinda does this, Melinda does that. And I couldn't say anything, because it wasn't my place to say anything. I just lived there. So where did I go when I left there? Because I hated it there.
You went to Fanny's, didn't you?
No, I don't. No, I went over to my Uncle Charlie's.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that's where I went. And I stayed there until my junior year in high school. And then my father went down to Holyoke to work for Fanny's husband, because he said when he retired, he passed the business on to my father. He could buy it. So my father said, okay, he would come down. And I had to go down too. And I was in my senior year in high school, and I didn't want to go down, but they made me go down there. So I lived there my senior year in high school in Churchill, which is now the worst section of Holyoke, where all those Puerto Ricans have been killing people.
That's where Melita and Paul used to live, that area?
Melita and her brother Trento, yeah.
No, when Melita and Paul lived in Holyoke.
They lived on Dwight. That's all Puerto Rican
Right.
there now. Dwight, that's the other end.
Down the canals?
No.
Churchill? No.
Churchill was right in the middle, only towards the going. When you're on High Street, you're going toward Northampton Street,
Oh yeah.
and it's a very bad section now. We used to, at that time, we were all Irish. Everybody around there was Irish.
Except
The
for you.
Irish section. Yeah. And I didn't mind it there. It was all right. I had to do a lot of work there. I had to iron, and Betty taught me how to iron all these things that they wore in the store. And her husband wore these starch collars, and I had to learn to iron them. And it was a lot of work. So I stayed there a year, and I graduated from high school, and I met this woman, Italian woman, who I liked very much. And I met her at the beach because I had to go to the beach with Malita and her father to help take care of Malita in Connecticut, in Milford. And I met this woman who was there. It was like a boarding house. All the people from Holyoke in the area stayed there. And she asked me to come and work for her. She was opening up an Italian store down in South Holyoke on Cabot Street. So I said yes. I couldn't wait to get out of there on pennies because I wouldn't have to work so much.
Mm-hmm.
So I went and stayed with her for a year. Then I went back to Northampton, and I got Rose McKay was living upstairs. She was married. No, she wasn't married. She was living with Bucky and Alice. And I went to live with Bucky and Alice. And Rose McKay went to work in Beckman's. I don't know if you remember Beckman's.
No.
It was the
Department
place
store?
to go to eat. About the only one in town then. And I got her a job up on Green Street at the college working for Mr. Curley, who was a druggist,
Mm-hmm.
a drugstore. And we sold stamps. There was a post office, and we waited on the girls for ice cream and such.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just before that, or around that time, I met Dad. And then we got married. I came to East Hampton.
Okay, when you met Dad, did you like him right away, or did
No.
you think?
Oh, I liked him, but I didn't love him. I liked him. I thought he was a nice fellow.
You like to talk to him?
But I was already going out with somebody else, a Polish fellow.
Oh.
But I never cared much for him. But I went out with him to please my girlfriends because he had a car. They were all from Chicopee Falls, the fellas. We used to go to the Polish dances at the Lebeau. And
So you
he
could
had a
get to the
car.
dances.
So anytime they'd all come up with him. I can't even remember his name. And he asked me, I was living over Bucky's, and just before Christmas, the following year, he came in. They had already gone to bed, and he wanted to give me a diamond. I took it out to give it to me. I said, no, I wouldn't marry him. So I gave it back to him. I broke up with him. And I was already going out with Dad then.
Aha.
And then we started going out steady. We got married.
How long
A
after?
year after that. About a year after that. I was 21 when I got married. Dad was 24. No, 25.
25.
Dad was 25. And I worked at that time.
Where'd you get married? You got married at St.
St.
Mary's.
Mary's.
Did you have a wedding ceremony?
No, we
reception
just-
after?
No, couldn't afford that. We
Did you have
went to-
dinner or something?
Yeah, we went to the Hotel Northampton. And Tommy Carroll, who's now dead, and Jean, who
Mhm.
was wife, was my maid of
Just the
honor.
4 of you went out to eat?
Yeah, just the 4 of us. We went out to eat. And
Your father wasn't there?
We went back home.
His parents? No?
My father was there, and Charlie and my aunt came to. We only went out to eat when we came back there. And Fran got married the year before I did, and she was with Aunt Fonda. And Aunt Fonda came up, and I don't know, nobody actually was invited, but they came.
Mm-hmm.
And the woman from downstairs came up. Her name was Aggie. And that was about it. We went out, as a matter of fact, we went out at night, and we went out with Bruno and the gang of us that went out. And then we stayed at the Hotel Kimball, which is now closed, I guess. And
Where was that?
Huh?
Where was that?
In Springfield.
Oh.
We all went out to, I think it was Agawam or West Springfield to eat and dance. A gang of us. Then they followed us to the hotel, and then he's saying, Dad, you be good to her, he says, or you'll break your neck.
Who?
Tuna was saying that to Ronnie. And he was yelling it out in the street. He said, I'll come back here and kill you. Of course, he had something to drink. And then we went, so we didn't even actually have a honeymoon. We went to New Jersey. My first night on my honeymoon, I spent over my Aunt Leah's.
Just the place you wanted to be.
And we'd go into New York every day, here and there. And that was my honeymoon. We did it. We couldn't afford to do otherwise. But we managed.
You had a good time?
Yeah, we did. That was the story of my life, from one place to another.
And then you got married and settled down.
Yeah. I married and lived in East Hampton ever since.
And has that been good for you?
Of course.
You've enjoyed having a home and being in one place.
Well, of course. After being shunted here and there,
Mhm.
everywhere,
Mhm.
I had my own home.
Mhm.
And then my father bought the place we were living in on Pleasant, over by the mills. It was our first and only apartment. And the woman was going to sell it, so my father bought it. So he died a few years later, and I inherited it. And then we sold the place because there were so many kids around there. There was a playground across the street.
Mhm.
And we bought this place on Clark Street. We've been here since.
Mhm.
Anything else you want to know about my kids?
Okay.
No.
Okay. So, what about your daughter?
Never appreciated her until the last year or so.
Oh.
I think she's growing older now, and she's changed a lot.
She's changed a lot. How's she
Yeah.
changed?
Matured a lot.
She's old.
No, not she's old. Her brain has matured. I think when you get older, you think differently too. And I think anybody that doesn't have a daughter is unlucky.
Anyone who doesn't have one?
Yeah, if you're married and have only boys, you're missing a lot.
Oh, they're unlucky if they don't have a daughter.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I thought you said they're lucky.
No, I said unlucky. Well, I was an only child, so maybe, and I didn't have any mother, so I can appreciate a mother and daughter thing.
Mhm.
Anything else you want to know?
Probably, but I can't think of anything. It ain't?
It ain't.
When is your anniversary?
When?
31st
Of what?
August.
Okay. Don't do that.
What year were you married?
Huh?
What year were you married?
We were married in 1940.
August 31st.
31st of August, 1940.
And Mom says you went out dancing and partying after, huh?
No, we didn't.
Yes, we did. We went down to Springfield.
Oh, that was later in the evening.
In the evening,
Oh,
yeah.
Before we went to the hotel.
After Tommy
Tommy Carroll?
sobered off.
Yeah. And Mitch. Mitch brought us down.
Mitch from over here.
Oh, Mitch.
This is, yeah.
He drove us.
He was your
He
chauffeur?
had one of O'Brien's, yeah.
Had the O'Brien's limo.
Yeah.
So how many years have you been married now?
57.
57.
57 years.
1997.
My God.
So what's the secret to being married 57 years?
No secret. A lot of hardship, a lot of yelling and fighting and droning.
Kissing and loving.
Very little.
Come on.
So 3 kids, yeah, kissing and loving. 3.
Oh, sure. That's the only time, huh?
Yeah.
3 times?
Is that true?
No. What do you think?
I think he's full of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, I never heard you.
You didn't.
You never did?
Glad.
Yeah.
Me too.
I'm not. I wish you did. Should have heard us
Making love?
puffing and puffing and puffing.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. Puffin. You huff.
Ooh.
Ronnie, let's not
Ooh.
talk about that. This is being recorded.
That's good.
Oh, that was started. You started it.
No, no.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, you said loving and kissing was
Yeah,
the secret to
that's
57
right.
years of marriage.
And you didn't hear us.
And I, yeah, and you quiet loving and kissing.
Right.
So,
There.
what was your favorite time of your marriage?
57 years.
See that?
This year?
He's got the right answer.
57 years.
No, did you hear the question?
Yeah.
I don't think he did.
What was your favorite time in your marriage?
Time?
Time, what part of you, like,
Part
through
of
the
our
years,
marriage.
what did you like the best?
All the time. The whole, that's what I said, the whole 57 years.
Well, I didn't
Except
answer.
that when I went into service, of
Oh,
course.
God. That was horrible. That was the worst in my life. I was in service and I had Skipper.
Yeah.
And he was sick, right?
Me?
Yeah, he was sick.
Skipper was sick.
Was he?
Skipper was.
Skipper was sick. You
After
almost
you were
lost him.
born, yeah.
Dad, tell me about how when you came home and surprised Mom. What you told me
I was surprised.
from the war.
I didn't know I was cutting when you were cutting.
Oh, well, I had my duffel bag coming down Pleasant Street. Everybody saying, "Hi, Mr. Lebeau." That's just saying, "Who the hell are those kids?" I didn't know those kids. Then I come out on the porch and I looked in the window in the front on the Pleasant Green, and I could see your mother in the kitchen. That's why I think I'll ring the bell. I rang the bell. Then she opened the door. She went, "Oh!"
And then what?
That Skipper yelled out,
Skipper
"Mommy!
didn't
Mommy!"
yell out.
Didn't he?
We went up and woke him up.
Oh, did he? Was he awoke? Oh, he was
No,
awoke.
he was sleeping.
Oh, well, I brought him downstairs anyway.
Yes. Right. And what did he say to you when he saw you?
That's
I said,
my-
"Who's that?"
That's my daddy.
He said, "Daddy."
Yeah, daddy. Yeah. Curly
I
hair.
show him his picture every day.
Ringed up.
Daddy.
The hair was all curly, curly,
ringlets,
curly, curly
ringlets.
hair. It's so cute.
I bet.
Yeah. I let him use my, put on my hat. Put my hat on, and my jacket.
God, he was 18 months old.
I know, I just draped it over him.
So then what did you do? You found a job and went back to work? Was it hard getting adjusted to having your husband back and Dad being back?
Hell no.
Hell no.
I think maybe that was part of the happiest time when he came back. Thank God he came back.
Mm-hmm. And then you got pregnant with Gary.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, Gary was
We said it.
planned. We wanted Gary.
We said it right away that we're gonna have another baby.
Took you a while.
What do you mean it took us a while?
Had to work on it. Well, at least 4 years.
I worked on it.
3 years.
3 years?
No.
But
Oh,
then Dad was in the service.
yeah.
I
Oh,
was
that's
pregnant
right.
when
So
you
it
were
didn't
there.
take that long. It was like a year after his
Dad
mom
came
Gary
home when he was
born.
18 months old.
Right. Okay.
First time I saw Skipper.
And then you had the 2 boys.
And then what?
Then we had a rest.
Then you had a long
I had
rest.
a pain in the ass that
Then you got used to being
single.
right parents
Yeah.
of teenagers that you didn't have to
All at once.
chase after every minute,
Oh,
right?
once your mother says, "Oh, I don't feel good. That must be something I ate." You coming home from a,
Bacon, huh?
you come home from a banquet, was it?
Oh, I threw up.
And
I threw up. You had to stop the car. Is that the time you had to stop the car?
yeah.
Well, we had been drinking.
Well,
We went
I
to
guess we were drinking.
Yeah, and what was I sick?
Yeah, well, that's when we went to
Springfield gang. There was
A gang of, we had the
Italian woman.
the Italian Women's Club, the party up there. We didn't have to have any money. All we had to do was have tickets. We had a lot of tickets. Cut them out, get a drink, buy a drink, get a drink, get a drink, get a drink.
You had.
I had to buy the tickets, that's first.
You had to pay for the tickets to
Yeah.
get to.
So how did you find out you were pregnant?
When she got sick.
Yeah. Then I stopped my period.
And then you,
Yeah, that wasn't so good. Sometimes you don't have your period.
That's true.
so you went to the doctors?
Yeah.
Doctor,
And-
uh-oh. Dr. Andrew.
It was not.
It wasn't Dr. Andrew.
It wasn't?
No, Dr. Andrew delivered the baby, delivered you. What? Yeah, it was Dr. Andrew.
Yeah. Because Dr. It was Dr. the Frenchman there that delivered Gary.
Jeunesse?
Jeunesse.
No, me. Talk to me.
Or
Dr.
Andrew
Andrews.
delivered you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I
Dr.
said.
We
I'm
were
trying to
talking
say.
about Skipper and Gary.
Oh, no, yeah,
No.
well, so he said to
When
them,
we
I
came
s-
home from the service, it was
no,
Gary.
when I said,
Yeah.
the doctor said, oh, you're pregnant. It was Dr. Andrew we had then.
Well, that was for Lisa.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Well, he said that you had a long rest after
Yeah.
having the two
Oh,
boys.
Right.
And then I said, and then you found out you were going to have another
Yeah.
one.
That's because my period was every month and I
Yeah.
didn't have a period for 2 months.
And I started to get heartburn.
Yeah, he was the one who was sick.
Holy Christ.
he had heartburn all the time. I was feeling great.
And you knew it was a girl at that point, huh, Dad?
I didn't know. I thought it was a girl. I told Dr.
They didn't
Andrew.
have amniocentesis.
I told Dr. Andrew, one night I said, bring me a little girl. And he came down when he walked down the aisle, down the corridors, and where the fathers have to sit when babies were born. He comes down, coming down, I saw him coming down, he had a grin on him a mile long. I said, uh-oh. He said, yeah. He said, you got yourself a little girl. I said, oh, God, thank a lot.
And your deduction because
Yeah, but that was December.
yeah, it's your tax
Yeah,
deduction
so you get a tax deduction,
for the whole year.
$500.
Yeah, I was it.
Yeah. I liked him. He was nice.
Mm-hmm, me too.
I liked Dr. Andrews. Too bad he went done what he did.
Oh well.
So then what happened?
That's it.
That's it?
You were
The
brought
end
up.
of your life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the end of my life. You were it.
You went out when I was younger. You used to go out a lot. And
Scarlet,
Yeah.
Barry, and Will
Yeah, Harry and Will Pelican.
both did. No?
Yeah, a lot of them
Les
did.
and Blah.
So is Babe. Babe.
Les and Blah, you went out with Blah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And the
Babe
Springfield gang.
Babe Pelican. Babe with Ann. He's gone. We used to go out with them too, remember? Them and his wife. And we used to go out with Bill Frederick.
Where'd you go?
Well, dine and dance, drinking. We used to go to the Quake
All
Club.
over. Just go all
Mostly at the Quake Club in
Where they- where they had-
Aldenville.
Where they had shows.
Yeah, we had the floor shows.
Mm-hmm.
These are pretty good. And drinking beer. We were big beer drinkers.
You drink beer, Ma?
Sure.
Me?
You did?
I hated beer.
Well, what did you drink?
I drank highballs.
Did you?
That's why she was always on the couch on Sunday,
Yeah.
because she drank highballs.
I think
Jeez.
I drank too much.
No, we didn't
Now
drink
that I
much.
look back.
But we used to raise holy hell.
Yeah, we did.
Sing all the way up and
They're
sing all the way
coming home.
back.
Sing Mal.
Sing Mal.
Oh Sole
Sing all the-
Mio.
yeah, I'll
Sing
sing
Oi
all the-
Muddy.
All the Italian songs. Yeah, we used to start with Bill Frederick. He used to sing, "What's the color of a horse?" At BROWN, because he was graduated from Brown University.
Oh.
He didn't. He graduated from, was it Rhode Island?
Providence, Rhode Island. That's
Yeah.
Brown.
He went
Oh,
to
Brown.
He went to Providence.
Well, what the hell
Rhode
is Brown?
Island.
Brown is in Rhode Island.
He went to Rhode Island University. Brown is a private
It's their
college.
rival.
Yeah.
Well,
That's why he was saying, "What's the color of a horse?"
Yeah, the ROWN. Yeah.
And that was, now.
And Dottie,
now-
and
Dottie's dead.
Dottie's dead. He's remarried.
Yeah.
Oh, I never see
Our
Bill.
former postmaster.
Never see Bill no more.
Why should he come to East?
I know, but
We don't
we
take.
ran into him a couple of times.
Most of these people are dead now. We're damn lucky we're still around.
You're both still around.
That's what I said. We're
I know, it's for your age. A lot of your friends,
friends and relatives are gone.
Jesus,
friends
my
and relatives,
God.
both the man and the woman,
Right.
or at least one or the other. But
I
you
was
stuck
thinking
it out.
Just thinking the other night when I worked in a shop as a rubber thread. Of all the people that I worked with, they're all gone. Almost all gone. Almost every one of them is gone.
Yeah, you're right.
The only one that I know of that's living right now is Jimmy Newton.
And he's not well. Last time I
Yeah,
saw
well, I mean, no, I'm just saying. And all the others, the Regish and all the Bob Major, all that guys,
They all died of
Nalowski,
lung poisoning, probably.
Nalowski.
probably from that
God.
shot. Emphysema.
Oh, God.
Besides, everybody smoked then too.
Hmm
Oh, sure.
I remember going to pick Dad up at noon and at 5 o'clock, and the whistle would blow at the factory, and Mom would say, "Go meet Dad," and I'd run over and wait on the railing, and everybody'd start walking out, and I'd be like, "Daddy, Dad!" I was so excited to see you every time. It was like, "Here he comes, here he comes!" And all your friends used to be like, "Oh, there's your daughter, Ronnie, she's waiting for you. She's so cute."
Because their daughters were all grown up,
Yeah.
practically.
Mhm.
Oh, Georgie's still around. Georgie Wallonis. Arnell, of course,
But
is
he was,
gone.
George was a lot younger.
Yeah, he was a kid. He was a kid when I worked there.
Okay, so if you've
Huh?
lived a long life, and what words of wisdom would you give to your children and
Words
your
of wisdom?
grandchildren
What,
and your great
for a
grandchildren?
long life?
For life in general, what would you tell them?
Stay sober.
Yeah.
Keep away from the
Drugs.
from the drugs.
And take life as it comes.
That's right.
Be
One day at
happy.
a time.
Be happy.
Try to be happy.
Take the good with the bad.
I forgot. I was going to count these over again. I forgot how many there was.
What?
The squares.
When?
Well, I counted them a couple of times inside the sitting in that chair.
I get confused. I guess.
I do too.
I
get
go down,
confused.
counting down to 10, then I get mixed up.
Is there anything you want to say to your kids,
Do I what?
But we love them.
Yeah,
your grandkids,
we love our children.
Love them too.
All our
Have
children.
great
your
grandkids.
great grandchildren?
Yes, and great
Because
grandchildren.
someday they'll watch this.
Gee. Who?
Someday they'll watch.
Anthony and
Oh,
Sarah.
maybe. They'll say, hey, Pepe.
Yeah.
Little Ronnie and Pepe. And who's that? I'll say. Who's that? That Pepe Lebeau?
Who's that?
Scott's kid.
Oh,
Anthony.
Anthony, you'll say, who's that? Pepe Lebeau? Lebeau. Pepe, I
Gramps.
don't know. I don't know Pepe
He
Lebeau.
doesn't call you Pepe, that's why he calls you Gramps.
Or Gramps. He still don't know me.
no.
They don't know. They will never know him.
No.
They'll never know
we don't
us.
see them enough.
They'll know
It's a
you now.
wonder we know our Gary's children.
That's what I mean. Yes, correct. Yes.
We see them about every 4 months now.
Well,
Oh well. What are you gonna do?
yeah, so I make an appointment every month with them.
Senator's too busy to come up.
Right.